this would be emotional for you coming back to St. Louis, an organization where you spent 18 years building the core of your baseball foundation. What's it like to come back?
Yeah, it's good to come back. A lot of people that you want to see, and a lot of good relationships, a lot of really good memories and people, and yeah, it's exciting to come back. But mostly it's about the Padres coming in and playing good baseball.
I imagine this was on your radar screen. How much have you sort of been looking forward to this? Maybe in the back of your mind, you're taking care of regular business on a daily basis, but still looking forward to this moment. A lot of good memories here, as you mentioned.
Yeah, a lot of good memories. I do my very best to stay present. Can't ignore that. It's coming up on the schedule, but excited to get in last night. But really hadn't thought a ton about it until we landed.
Yeah. Not only learning baseball and how to teach the game, but also you were going to be a manager in that organization. George Pistol, great family tree, great managers they've built. You're following them in a tree. What are some of the things that really have stuck with you that you're using today now?
It's interesting because I never thought I'd manage. I didn't have any idea I'd manage with my path. I was tickled just to get into the organization and get around a lot of quality baseball people, and I didn't really fully know until I got here the quality of people that I was able to be around, and not only in baseball knowledge, which is exceptional and proven, but also in just the quality of people that had a genuine care about me, which was crazy. And they invest what I think is the most important thing you can give to anybody, or precious thing, and that is their time and their energy. And I was around, and it's hard for me to even start to mention the number of them, but started with talking about Mr. Kissel and Mark D. John, who was here 33 years, and Tony La Russa, of course, and Red Shane East, and Whitey Herzog, and you're talking about some of the best managers and Hall of Famers in the history of this game, and they all were very gracious with their time with me, among a lot of other people that are still here. And so I just have a lot of reverence for those people and my time here.
How have you and Ollie maintained that friendship? You guys are business partners. Have you guys been able to keep up, even though you're both in the National League, both trying to run that wild card spots?
Yeah, no, listen, I've known Ollie since 2006. Drafted him and did everything I can to be supportive, just like people were supportive of me, and put him beside me as the bench coach, and we stay in touch, and it's all positive.
Shildt, you're a guy you talk about staying present. I remember a lot of the things you talked about with a ball club that's doing really well. You're staying present. But when you walk into this facility and look around where you spent some years and kind of geared your whole career toward this organization, what runs through your mind?
A lot of things, a lot of, you get a chance to walk around the field. Alan Craig's here, with us, so that's fantastic. I've enjoyed reconnecting with Alan in San Diego, and it's been a huge asset to me and our organization, how we're establishing what we're doing here. And but we went around, walking around the stadium and spending some time, and you get to see Matt Gifford and Billy Finley, the grounds crew, and you just could appreciate and walk around and see and just absorb. And there's a lot of different things going on, but ultimately for me, and what's most important is with this group is making sure taking care of an organization that I'm absolutely loving to death, and I'm loving the people and the players and everything about it, and that's make sure the San Diego Padres be ready to compete tonight.
Are you at peace with how it ended? It's been a while now. It wasn't pleasant, obviously. Are you at peace now?
Yeah, I'm at peace. I'm happy.
Was there anything you'd do different looking back? Was there anything you'd change?
Look, we don't get a lot of mulligans in life. I haven't lost any sleep with how I did things for 18 years here. I can rest comfortably knowing that. I did my best to be a caretaker of the organization. As Tony would say, I tried to do my part, put my little piece in. As I got more opportunities, the pieces became a little bit bigger. But I always wanted to do the very best I could, and had a pure heart for making sure this organization moved forward, and I had a lot of peace with that.
Well, did you have memories flood back when you walked in this place, and is there one memory that stands out to you?
Man, it's hard to say there's one memory. There's a lot of them. There's definitely memories taking place. But again, there's a common place for those memories, and I'm trying to compartmentalize those, and have a smile on my face, which I have, with those memories in my time here, because without the time here and the people here. And the other thing I want to make sure I represent is just how much support I was always grateful for from, the fan base. The people here treated me well in St. Louis. The fan base has treated me well. It's treated me well since I've left. You guys in the media were always very fair to me, and I've got a lot of good relationships locally with the media. So, it's a lot of good memories. Nothing really, there's multiple ones that stand out. I mean, we had some good runs here, and it's really ultimately about the people.